program titled Women and I on DTV. Here we discuss about issues that concern women and their reproductive system. On today's topic, we are going to be looking at the symptoms, causes, and prevention of ectopic pregnancy. Here with me today in the studio is a gynecologist, a medical practitioner, Dr. Maureen Abing. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
As we all know, ectopic pregnancy is a type of pregnancy where the fetus is developed outside the uterus, particularly on the fallopian tube. This ectopic pregnancy in this our society has been something of concern, but here we don't seem to understand the symptoms of ectopic pregnancy when it comes. What are the symptoms of ectopic pregnancy?
Thank you. The symptoms of an ectopic pregnancy are of two stages. First, the early warning symptom and the emergency symptoms. The first one is the early warning symptoms. It is when you have this mild bleeding that you come in the form of spotting, and you know that it's not your period, and you have this bleeding, small slight bleeding in your pint. You see these stains of blood in your pint. Then the second one is the first one is that bleeding, and also you have this mild pains in your abdomen that is not all that serious. You're like, okay, you have some pains in you, then go for a checkup. Those are the early warning symptoms. Then the second one, which is the emergency symptoms, is when you have this continuous bleeding that stays for almost a week, and you know that it's not your period, and you have seen this bleeding that goes on and on for a very long time. Sometimes it can stay for a month. Some people 3 weeks, 1 month, and then just abdominal pain, a severe one that if you touch any of your stomach, any part of your stomach, you see that okay, you are having some pains in you. So rush. That one is called emergency. So it needs for emergency checkup to really ascertain what is the cause of it. If it's an ectopic pregnancy, the doctor will tell you. You go for a scan and other tests that can be used to identify if it's really an ectopic pregnancy or not. Those are the two warning symptoms.
Thank you. If you're not joining us, this is a program titled Women and I on DTV. Here we discuss about issues that concern women and their reproductive system. And the topic today is the causes, prevention, and symptoms of ectopic pregnancy. The guest with me here in the studio is Dr. Maureen Abing. You're welcome again, ma'am.
Thank you.
The second question here is this issue of ectopic pregnancy. It has been our daily, let me say, a disease that mostly affects women, especially these days. It has been so common. What are the causes of ectopic pregnancy?
Thank you. The causes of ectopic pregnancy, I can say one is infection, most especially infection. If infection has been in you for a very long time, maybe some infection cannot be, it can't bring any symptoms. So if you have any infection, it can't bring any symptoms unless you take yourself to the hospital to really know if you have infection or not. But mostly, what causes ectopic pregnancy is infection. In a very long-stay infection that it cannot be treated for a very long time, it can cause an ectopic pregnancy, thereby blocking your fallopian tubes. Maybe partially block your fallopian tubes. That takes the egg to travel to the uterus a very long time, thereby stop inside the fallopian tube, developing to the fetus. And secondly, hormonal imbalance can also cause an ectopic pregnancy. When your hormones are not imbalanced, they are not balanced as supposed to be, because it can also cause an ectopic pregnancy. Why am I saying this? In the sense that if your hormones are low, that period that is going to take that egg from the fallopian tube to the uterus, from the movement of that egg from the fallopian tube to the uterus, it only stays for 5 days. But if your hormones are very low, it will take a very longer period to travel. At that point, it can make that egg to stop between the fallopian tube and thereby resulting into an ectopic pregnancy. Thirdly, smoking. It can damage your reproductive systems, and also bad habits, and also like smoking, alcohol, and all that can cause the human reproductive system to be damaged, thereby cause an ectopic pregnancy. So, in a nutshell, we can say the most causes of an ectopic pregnancy is infection that affect the PID, that is a painful inflammatory disease, causing painful inflammatory disease that affect the reproductive system of a woman as this thing. that causes all, how am I going to put it? You all know there are numerous causes of ectopic pregnancy. One, the major causes of this ectopic pregnancy is infection. When you are being infected, either sexual transmitted diseases or any other infection, it can cause the human reproductive system to be damaged, thereby cause an egg to stuck inside between the fallopian tube and then result to an ectopic pregnancy. Another one is if you are this chronic smoker and also alcohol drinking. Maybe you subject yourself to this drinking of alcohol and smoking of all this Indian hemp, smoke, cigarette of any kind. It can also damage your reproductive system, thereby cause an ectopic pregnancy. Thirdly, your hormonal imbalance can also cause an ectopic pregnancy, in the sense that if your hormones are low, very low, then a egg travel from the fallopian tube to the uterus. It takes 5 days for an egg to travel from the fallopian tube to the uterus. But if this egg travel from that fallopian tube to the uterus, take longer time than that 5 days, it can be able to stuck in between and thereby resulting to an ectopic pregnancy. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. But there's this natural notion, especially men, that believes that okay, when once a woman has been operated on the ectopic pregnancy, will not be able to conceive again. What can you say about that?
Anyone that presume or to their own understanding that if you have an ectopic pregnancy, you cannot be able to conceive again, it's a big lie. As we all know, we women, we are made up of 2 fallopian tubes. We are made up of 2 fallopian tubes and also 2 ovaries and 1 womb. If you have an ectopic pregnancy, that should make sure that 1 fallopian tube will be removed. If that fractured, that causes an emergency. They will remove one of the fallopian tube, and then you will be left with 1 fallopian tube and 2 ovaries. If in case your 2 ovaries are still intact and are very functional, and the 1 fallopian tube is open and secured, you can as much as have as many children as you want to have. Because this notion that okay, people that have been treated with ectopic pregnancy, they won't have children of their own, it's a big lie. So far as once tube is open, you must have your children. Even if it's 10 children you want to have, you can have it.
So how can one prevent that ectopic pregnancy?
You can prevent ectopic pregnancy. It can't be totally prevented because anybody can be a victim at any second time and any given time. For my own understanding, you can prevent ectopic pregnancy by keeping yourself away from diseases. And also, if you want to have an intercourse, because you don't know who have this infection, you must use prevention like condom, so that they cannot contract this disease from your partner. And also go for a checkup to really know if you have infection. If you have any infection, treat it as early as possible, so that it cannot result to this damaging of your reproductive system, thereby causing an ectopic pregnancy.
But when these causes have been known to us, is there any other way that we can use to prevent this ectopic pregnancy, like this natural way?
There's no natural way of preventing ectopic pregnancy. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody at any given stage in life. So far as you're an adult and you have sex or you have intercourse with maybe your opposite partner, your opposite sex, you can be able to have a pregnancy. The only thing you need to do is always use condom, because I know that the real causes of ectopic pregnancy is the infection.
Okay, wow. Because of time, we are going to draw the program to a conclusion. Nice having you in the studio, man.
Thank you.
For your comments in the house today, we draw the program to a conclusion because of time. For your comment, opinion, feedback, and suggestion, you can reach us on our number shown on the screen. I remain your host, Joy Gabriel. Thank you for listening. See you same time next week.